Good morning, all. Hmm. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm doing all right. Can't complain. Welcome or welcome back to Heart of K. I'm going to go by my name this morning, Misha, because I want to come from you in a real place. Not saying that Purple Sky KT doesn't have her realness, because she does. But Misha just sounds good this morning. I hope you ate well. I hope you slept well. And I hope you're as happy as I am, because happiness is a blessing. It really is. This morning, I want to talk about shadow work, my experience with shadow work, because I see that there are a lot of YouTubers that talk about shadow work, but I haven't found one who talks about their experience with shadow work. Before we get any further into shadow work, this isn't voodoo. This isn't an out of body experience. This is our shadow is what we repress, what we hold in, our real feelings about certain situations, about how traumatic experiences affect us, and how we allow that experience to rule our everyday lives. We may know about it, be well aware of what took place, remember it from point A to point B to point D. We remember it so well, so skillfully, but we don't let it go. We take it as a lesson, and we use that as a vehicle for us to be hard on other people, not to trust other people, not to trust certain situations. And it could be anything. It could be anxiety, it could be hate, it could be fear. Mine was anxiety and my fear of ever falling in love. I thought that no one would want me, and then I thought someone would use me. I thought someone would take advantage of me. So many negative things. So my shadow work took place in the sense of having visions with my crush at the time, Park Bo Gum. I had dreams about him too. Like, the dream that I had was that we were on the same street. And then at that point, that's when I felt that it was safe to desire him, because he was right up my alley. At least that was how I interpret the dream. And I was dead wrong. My experience with shadow work was interesting because I allow my imagination to break down my fears of ever being in a committed relationship. I imagine a lot of the things that I did, and because I know that our minds are powerful, we can imagine anything. It took a hold on me, and it reached me in a way that I didn't expect. It made me question my insecurities. It made me question my fantasies. It made me question my doubts. And that's the form of shadow work, where you're being honest about your feelings, being honest about that hurt, and knowing how to let it go. And it's possible. I refuse to believe that it's impossible, because I suffered with anxiety. I share that with all of you. I didn't know how to trust myself. I didn't know how to trust people. I had to learn, and learning was to let my guard down. And letting my guard down was my doing the work, with shadow work. How do I feel today? Lighter, much lighter. My anxiety, yeah, it's gone. It had to go away, because all the stuff that I thought of, I no longer think of. And it takes work. Don't get me wrong. It took a lot of work, but it gets easier, to the point that now, whenever I have a feeling, I question it, and then I move forward. What I like about shadow work was this was created by Dr. Carl Jung, who was a psychiatrist and a psychotherapist. He worked with Sigmund Freud. I'm not a fan of Sigmund Freud, but that's a digression. um, he worked in a mental institution, in a psychiatric ward. Even the whole introvert extrovert thing was created by Carl Jung. Isn't that interesting? Shadow work gets easier because I don't believe the work is ever done. No, I don't suffer from anxiety anymore, but I have been witness to suppressing a lot of my feelings. Suppressing, I would say. Yes, suppressing a lot of my feelings with a lot of situations. But now I'm looking into it and I'm being honest about it. And it gets easier because then I let it go. A lot of the videos that I've watched, they talk about how tell you ways to do shadow work, how it would help, like journaling. But I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of people that I believe don't like to write, and that's fine. You can record your voice if you want to, if that's easier for you. Record your voice speaking in a diary entry. I like to say journal. Let's be honest here. Not that it makes a difference, but it's a journal because I do it daily. It's not just where I put all my secrets. You could find someone who you can trust and confide in them. Hopefully, it's someone that listens more and speaks less, because that's what you need. You need someone that's going to listen to you. That's the work that you put in to address your shadow. And another thing that I believe works is meditating. You see, when you meditate, your mind wanders, but no one questions where their mind wanders. I do. Whenever my mind wanders, I question it and then I come back to my center. Because there's a reason why your mind wanders into those certain things. Yeah, it may be anxiety. Yeah, it could just be something that you remember to do. Yeah, your mind is going to wander. But it's the control that you have within yourself to come back to your center. It gets easier and easier and easier. Trust me when I say this. It may be hard in the beginning, but it gets easier. And when I say why meditating will work is because that's when a lot of things are revealed to me. That's how things are shown to me when I meditate. I also want to add praying works. Praying works. When I pray, I thank God for everything. I thank God for all the little incidences that happen in my life. Because that's where my heart is. I'm not saying that that's the way that you should pray. I'm saying that pray however your heart is. Even if you're angry at God, release that anger. It works. It really works. So that is my experience with shadow work. I hope you consider it if you're going through anything that needs shadow work. If you have any repressed feelings, that you begin to question them and that you can heal from them. And still, to this day, I love you. Stay safe.